Pakistan's economy is in crisis. It is in crisis not because of a single disaster, but because of 1,000 small failures that have compounded over decades. Three nations were born from the same colonial past: India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. They started with similar challenges, similar resources, and similar dreams. But today they tell three very different stories. While India and Bangladesh are climbing, Pakistan is sliding backward. Pakistan's inflation is 12.6%, more than double of India's 5%, meaning prices for food, fuel, and rent are rising faster than wages can keep up. Pakistan's family's purchasing power is shrinking every month. What cost 100 rupees last year costs 112 rupees today. Pakistan's unemployment stands at 17%, higher than India's 14%. But the real crisis is hidden. Millions more are underemployed, working without security or dignity. Bangladesh, despite having a smaller economy, has created more jobs and better opportunities for its youth than Pakistan has. Poverty in Pakistan is 16.5%, meaning 1 in every 6 Pakistanis lives on less than $3 a day. In India, that number is 5.3%. In Bangladesh, it's 5.9%. Pakistan's poverty rate is 3 times higher than its neighbors. This is not coincidence. It reflects decades of poor policy, corruption, and mismanagement that India and Bangladesh have begun to overcome. A Pakistani child is more likely to be poor, less likely to go to school, and less likely to have a healthy future than a child in India or Bangladesh. Foreign investors are voting with their wallets. India attracts $39 billion in foreign direct investment annually. Bangladesh attracts $4.5 billion. Pakistan is only $3.7 billion. This investment route means fewer factories, fewer jobs, and fewer opportunities for Pakistanis to build careers and escape poverty. Why would a company invest in Pakistan when it can invest in India or Bangladesh with better returns, better infrastructure, and less political risk? Pakistan's economy depends on remittances from abroad for 9.4% of its GDP. India depends on remittances for only 3.5% of GDP. Bangladesh for 6.1%. Pakistan is most dependent and the most vulnerable. Millions of Pakistanis work overseas and send money home to keep the economy afloat. When global economies slow and Pakistanis abroad lose jobs, the money stops flowing home. The economy shudders. This is not sustainable. A healthy economy creates jobs at home. Pakistan's economy is so broken that it exports its people and imports their wages. And the human cost. Pakistan's life expectancy is 68 years, India is 72, and Bangladesh is 75. Pakistanis are dying younger because of poverty, poor healthcare, and malnutrition. Only 27% of Pakistani women work. In India, it's 56%. In Bangladesh, it's 45%. Pakistan's Human Capital Index is 0.4, the lowest of the three. This means the average Pakistani worker is less educated, less healthy, and less productive than workers in India or Bangladesh. The question is not whether Pakistan can recover. The question is whether it will recover before it's too late.